Hello, my name is David Getz, and I am the composer of Ruth the Musical. Thank you for joining me today as we take a deeper dive into one of the songs from the show. Today we're going to be looking at the first song that I ever wrote for the show. This happened in 2011, in November. I was home for a college break, and I was sitting in church that Sunday listening to Doug Habegger, the pastor at my local church, preaching on the book of Ruth. And he was talking about the part at the beginning of the story where Elimelech is basically moving his family to Moab, out of Bethlehem, due to the famine in the area. And I remember thinking that would have been a very tough decision, just to decide to move your family, start over, especially outside of the promised land. And I assume if, for the Jewish community, that would not have been an easy decision to make. And it just seemed like a very opportune time for an aria. And I just remember thinking, I wonder what Elimelech would have sang about in that moment. How, would he have been angry, afraid, or, what emotions? And so I just scratched some lyrics on my program that I had in church there. And then I spent the rest of that church service thinking, I wonder if anybody's actually written a full show about the book of Ruth. And I think I wrote down just a couple song ideas or song titles that day, but I just couldn't really shake that idea that this is an incredible start to a musical, is having, this person make a very, very tough decision. And I just kind of came up with them with this melody that we hear Elimelech basically eventually coming to the point where we're saying, like, either we're going to die here from the famine or we need to move. So that was the first song that really kind of popped into my head, and it wasn't fully formed at all. But I then kind of just kept tinkering with it until I had written it into a full song. Let's listen to Steve Williams sing a little bit from the world premiere.
It is true that the Lord forbids us to depart, but what does he offer us here? Famine is all that I can see for miles. The only crop that grows here now is fear. If God in heaven won't appear, then our future way is clear. I will die if I stay here. We will die if we stay here.
In my first draft of this song, it was Elimelech only. Elimelech sang the entire song, and I actually didn't add the other family members into this song until we had already actually done a few rehearsals for the premiere. So this would have probably been in the spring of 2018. And I just remember at the time kind of thinking that, if Elimelech is saying this to his family, which I kind of envisioned this being a family decision, they would obviously chime in as well. So I didn't change much of the lyrics at all. I just kind of broke it up and gave it to some of the different characters. So that's the first time we do hear Naomi sing, and Mahlon and Kilian as well. So let's listen to how this song ends.
Since our God has turned away, we will leave right now today.
Another story we will write.
Down to Moab we will go. For if we stay here, we'll die.
I remember now I did rewrite that ending a little bit. Once I knew I had 4 voices, I thought that would make a more grand ending. But that last chorus there, if our God is turned away, we will leave right now today. And then the boys sing another story we will write. For if we stay here, we will die. So this is kind of the family's declaration that God has left them, that his blessing has left them because of this famine. And so this is really going to obviously lead us into how we're going to eventually meet Ruth going down to Moab. And I think just thematically it sets up this Act 1. Act 1 of this story is very dark and very somber. And so I felt like this was the tone that needed to be set here at the beginning of the show. And we're actually going to see this melody is going to come back later in Act 1 as well. So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Look forward to more of these videos as we go through the show of Ruth. If you haven't got your tickets yet, the show is July 12th and 13th at 5 Point Center in Washington, Illinois. You can get your tickets at www.theruthmusical.com. I'll see you next time.